Usama bin Zaid, Usaid bin Zahir, Zaid bin Thabit, Zaid bin Arqam, Araba bin Aws, Amr bin Hazm, Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, Zaid bin Harita al-Ansari, Sid bin Haba and al-Bara bin Azib. Sahih al-Bukhari pointed out that he had shared in the fight that day. The Messenger of Allah, PBUH, allowed both Rafi bin Khadai and Samura bin Jundub joined the army, though they were too young. The former proved to be skillful at shooting arrows, the latter wrestled the former and beat him. The admission of Rafi made Samura says, I am stronger than him, I can overcome him. When the Prophet, PBUH, heard this saying, he ordered them to wrestle. They did. Samura won, so he was also admitted. Passing the night between Uhud and Medina, as night fell upon them there, they performed both the sunset and the evening prayers and spent the night there as well. 50 people were chosen to guard the camp and go around it. Muhammad bin Maslama al-Ansari, the hero of the brigade of Ka'b bin al-Ashraf, was in charge of the guards, whereas Dakwin bin Abd Qais undertook the responsibility of guarding the Prophet, PBUH, in particular. The rebellion of Abdullah bin Ubay and his followers. The end of the night, in just before it was daybreak, the Prophet, PBUH, moved, and when he got to Ash-Shah he observed the dawn prayer. There he was, close enough to the enemy that they could see one another. It was there that Abdullah bin Ubay, the hypocrite, rebelled against the Muslims. 1/3 of the army withdrew with him, that is to say 300 fighters. He said, we do not know why we shall kill ourselves. He claimed that his withdrawal was no more than showing protest against the Messenger of Allah, PBUH, who had already refused his opinion and accepted that of the others. Undoubtedly that was not the real cause of his detachment. If it had been the refusal of his opinion, as the hypocrite claimed, there would have no sense whatsoever for his joining the prophetic army. If it had been so, he would have refused to go out with the army from the very beginning of the march. As a matter of the fact, real purpose of this rebellion, withdrawal, and detachment, at this delicate and awkward position and time, was to produce bewilderment, confusion of mind, and disorder in the Muslims' army, who were within the sight and hearing of a range of the enemy, who was also looking forward to seeing more and more dissension on the side of the Muslims, like themselves. They also aimed at breaking the high morale of the believers. That would accelerate, in their opinion, the breakdown and consequently the death of Muhammad, his faithful companions, and Islam as a whole. The way would then be clear for the reclaim of the presidency, which that hypocrite had lost on the advent of Islam into Medina. Short of Allah's care, the hypocrites, the plot would have been successful.